Hey guys, TGKS Productions. So for this Red Dead Online video, I'm going to be talking about the new patch that has been released specifically for Red Dead Online, patch 1.22 or update 1.22. It was released this past Thursday or yesterday, probably from when you're seeing this video, August 13th. Now, if you're a little bit unfamiliar with what's going on currently in Red Dead Online, Rockstar released a patch or patch version 1.21 this past Monday, August 10th. And essentially, this patch aimed to, I would say, for the most part, fix the connection errors that players were experiencing ever since the natural scroll was up or added into Red Dead Online on July 28th. That was pretty much what that patch aimed to fix, I would say mostly. However, that patch ended up being a complete disaster. In fact, it removed animals, or at least affected the animal spawns negatively, greatly in Red Dead Online. There were really no NPCs that could be found, or at least very few. There were issues with camp spawns. You really couldn't engage with too many stranger missions, or really any for that matter. And it was just an overall disaster of a patch. It didn't go planned at all. And we've been waiting a few days for Rockstar to really sort of try to come up with a solution for this. And this patch 1.22 seems to be that solution, or at least I would say a temporary solution. And we'll talk about what I mean by that in this video. All right, so you may have heard some coyote noises there, and that is definitely a very good sign. So when I joined online after downloading this 1.22 patch, I checked a number of things that I sort of checked or tested when the 1.21 patch was released, and sort of most of the issues that were brought about, I would say, with that 1.21 patch, for the most part, appeared to be fixed. You'll see to the left of me, I ended up running into some animals that you can see, or eagle eye. So that was good. Animal spawns seem to be back. Also, camp spawns, or I was able to spawn my camp in. I was able to, in fact, it was on the map as soon as I loaded into Red Dead Online, and then I also ended up spawning it close to where I was at. So camp seemed to be working better. I even eventually ended up traveling to Blackwater. It was nighttime when I traveled to it, so I don't believe there was necessarily as many NPCs in Blackwater. However, there were nonetheless NPCs, and it appeared to be more NPCs than what were before. Before, there was pretty much ghost towns where you really didn't find any NPCs, and there were definitely noticeable NPCs walking around Blackwater. So that there seemed to be NPCs, and I even ended up going or traveling to Manzita Post or in Tall Trees. Did a mission for Sean McGuire, a stranger mission, and I was able to actually go through that mission, play it, complete it, got paid, earn XP. So bottom line, pretty much what I'm getting at is here, like I said, all the issues that were brought about with the 1.21 patch appear to be fixed with the 1.22 patch. And there's a good reason for this, and I think what I'm going to mention next really would explain why pretty much everything that, all the issues that were brought about the 1.21 patch was fixed with the 1.22 patch. Now, real quickly, before I mention why it would appear that these issues that were brought about the 1.21 patch were fixed with the 1.22 patch, I also want to say that the sessions also seem to be working a little bit better, where before you'd be in super small sessions, sometimes like under 5-10 players. Session I actually joined was originally at like around 10-12 players. I actually ended up being at 16 at one point. So the sessions seem to be working better. And also, what I covered in my video talk about the 1.21 patch, I was having issues joining my friends. In fact, to the point where I would try to join my friend and it would end up just, my app would pretty much end up crashing, or I'd have a network error, then my app would crash. I was able to successfully join my friend as well, so that also appears to be better. So like I said, pretty much for the most part, again, as I stated previously, everything, all the issues of the 1.21 patch that were brought about seem to be fixed. All right, so now on to why it would appear that the 1.22 patch has fixed the issues about the 1.21 patch. What you're seeing here is actually from Rockstar Support's Twitter page, and they sort of have a message regarding all these issues. And it was updated on August 13th, which is when the 1.22 patch was released for Red Dead Online. If we go down to the answer, I'm going to read through this, and I highlighted pretty much what would be, I guess you could say, the explanation for why these issues would appear to be fixed. If we look at this real quickly, it says, an update to Red Dead Online intended to provide security improvements and address connection errors unintentionally introduced a range of issues, including connection problems, low animal spawn counts, difficulty pitching camps, entering moonshine shacks, as well as others on PS4 and Xbox One. We have reverted back to the previous version on those platforms initially launched on July 28th. This should address these recent issues and restore stability. Meanwhile, we will continue to work to eliminate any remaining issues through future updates. So pretty much, I would say this right here explains it. They reverted Red Dead Online's version back to the version that was added with the Naturalist Rule update. So that is pretty much why these issues, for the most part, would be fixed, because we're back to that previous version. However, what does that mean for the issues that we were experiencing before, specifically before the 1.21 patch? Now, pretty much what was stated with that article page I showed you there, the 1.21 patch mostly aimed to fix the network errors. They said security improvements as well, but for the most part, it was made for the network errors. That was like a huge issue. I know I experienced this, or had some frustration with network errors ever since Naturalist Rule update was added to Red Dead Online, especially when I was trying to complete daily challenges, keep my daily challenge streak. It was very frustrating. So that's pretty much, I'd say, what that main patch aimed to do. And likely what that means at this point, and sort of to even further back this up, is players may start experiencing these network errors again. And not to say they weren't experiencing them after the 1.21 patch, but likely you're probably going to, you may be experiencing this or these issues in high frequency again, just because, again, they reverted it back to the previous version where these network errors were occurring. And I was even reading through some of the comments under the post that I just read from Rockstar Support of players saying that they were still experiencing these network errors, and this was after the fact of the patch. Like some that were even like a couple hours ago, like way after the patch was added to Red Dead Online. And again, this patch is on, for consoles specifically, PS4, Xbox One. But that is likely what that means. It's pretty much any of those issues that the 1.21 patch aimed to fix likely still reside. Personally, I played in Red Dead Online for a bit. I didn't play too long today. I got on pretty late today just to complete a daily to keep my daily challenge streak. I really didn't experience any of these network errors. I talked to one of my friends or messaged him, but he also said that at the time he didn't really experience them. So far, so good, but it does appear that some players are experiencing these, even, these network errors, even after the patch was introduced. So I wouldn't really be surprised by that. Don't be surprised if you're still experiencing these network errors, because like I said, they reverted it to the previous version. Therefore, these network errors, it would make sense that they would still reside in Red Dead Online. So pretty much where are we at this point? Well, at this point, what we can hope for is, hopefully within a few days or a week, they release a patch that will fix these network errors and also not break the game at the same time. That's really where we're at. I mean, at this point, at least the game is playable. I mean, the 1.21 patch pretty much, deemed the game unplayable. At least the game is playable at this point. So I'm happy Rockstar at least have like a temporary fix so that at least players can play the game for the most part. But I do hope within the next week or so, they do release another patch that will hopefully permanently fix the network errors, because it does appear that they still reside in Red Dead Online, and players are still being, are still experiencing them and being bothered by them. So that's pretty much where we're at. Hopefully they'll release a patch, sooner rather than later, covering or hopefully fixing those issues. But in any case, guys, I hope you found this video beneficial. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. Be sure to comment if you have any questions, and have a great day.